Bill and I met each other as high school teammates in 1970. Okay.
1970.
1970.
What's
right.
Bill like in 1970? Did he have good feet? You guys were both linemen.
No, we're both we're terrible, but we love football.
But there's so many times I've heard in the meeting room, me and fucking Ernie could do this.
Well, it would depend on what we could try hard. If it required a lot of ability, forget it.
I mean, me and Ernie could get out
All
here.
right, yeah, no. It would have to be something, require a very low level of skill. But we started basically a running 50-year football conversation.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. If something came up, we need to change something 180 degrees at halftime. We didn't have to have a 4-hour meeting. Hey, we remember that game we had against the Cowboys in '79. Yeah, this is a similar type situation, and this is what. Yeah, and it worked then. So we had plenty of those.
So you guys could finish each other. I mean,
we could football wise. Yeah, and we had seen. He remembered things. I might remember a play kind of, and he'd finish. He'd know. Oh yeah, or it was the same. But that's it's the kind of give and take and the flow and having. With our staff, like having, we were there with Josh for 20 years.
Yeah.
You build up relationships, together. This worked then, it didn't work now. Similar, different players, but a little bit similar. So, I mean, it's, you're just trying to, adjust, work your way through it and try to get it to work.
What was the scouting report of Bill as a center in 1970?
Well, see, because I played guard, so there's kind of a statute of limitations on this. Like I don't tell, we neither one of us were, 180-pound offensive high school linemen. We had a fantastic quarterback, so we won all our games, and
Now, what did you guys do anything after practice to give you that? Because linemen always have like a bond. The O line just always. When you go in the locker room, the O-line are always by themselves.
By themselves.
Were you guys what? Going home, looking at scouting reports, drinking beers,
Well, it was actually
because
this
devil's lettuce.
This was boarding school.
Okay,
so there was room, even and it was an intense academic environment. But we found time, to go over. Hey, this play, that play, because we both kind of knew, that we probably wanted to end up in football. So. Being real good friends with somebody for over 40 years, it's a real experience.
Now, do you remember the first time you guys met?
I do, absolutely. It's kind of a famous story because Bill's dad, Steve Belichick, who was on the staff. He was the godfather of United States Naval Academy football for about 50 years.
Yeah,
but he had written a book called Football Scouting Methods, which I had actually read. And we got this, and I was at the school for 4 years. Bill came for his last year, as a senior, and it was one of those old, in high school, we had 80 boys out for football. Everybody's got, the name on the piece of tape across the helmet. This guy Belichick. There aren't that many Belichicks in the world. So I said, hey, did your dad write a book? And Bill looks at me like, you gotta be kidding me. Yes. So that was, that's kind of where that started.
Here, we got a little.
Football. Right, and of course it was. I had the
leather bound,
hard cover, and of course the reason the book I have on my shelf is a treasure to me. It was signed to me by Steve.
Oh,
so that was
John Hancock.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if I remember, it was like best wishes. And may your interest in football always stay with you.
What year did he sign that?
Well, what about 1970? And
did all those wishes come to fruition?
Well, basically, yeah. I mean, yeah. And of course, this was, one of the great things about, this game with the Rams is after the game, you see Steve Belichick right there on the sidelines.
Getting that Gatorade shower.
Got it.
The Gatorade shower, yeah.
So I heard you used to sneak into Boston College spring practices.
This was going on. See, actually, there was it wasn't just Bill and me. There, Evan Bonds, who's made a life. He's been the I think he's just stepping down now, but been like the chair of the music department at the University of North Carolina. He was also totally into football.
Just legends.
So this was, so if you read the David Halberstam book, Bill, Evan and I, we found time, we went over to watch a spring game at Boston University, and we were taking notes. And